Thank you for coming and welcome. Welcome to GQUAT Traditions, where good friends become family and family is everything. I am so thankful for each of you. I, sometimes I guess most of you who have been following the channel, you know that I canceled Saturday. I had some little health issues, but you know what? It's not a big deal. The big deal is finding competent medical coverage. And my primary care physician left the state, and finding competent people that I trust to take care of me when she's gone is an issue. So, looking at all this stuff that I miss, I hate I love computers. I hate computers. But speaking of which, Dolores, I don't know if you guys heard her when she came on. I haven't talked to Dolores since last week, but Dolores is part of my family, part of my technical family. I did speak to her earlier today because she was concerned because, oh, and if you guys will give me the thumbs up as you come in the room, I appreciate it. She was concerned. Let me speak to the rest of you who are in the room, though. Maria Graham, let me go. You came in early. Unbiased LLC. Her phone ain't acting right, so she's getting double messages. Well, life happens, but it's good, and I'm just glad that you're here. Tegsay enjoys gardening and life. Thank you for coming and welcome. But you guys, I want to tell you something about Auntie Ellen. Some people like to brag and boast, but they got this, they got that, they went there, they went here. If you look, you can see Dolores in the chat, but she was concerned because a lot of people on YouTube think that she does everything for me. And frankly, Scarlett, I don't give a rat's, but I'm concerned that it will affect her business as a consultant. So I just want to show you this. I don't talk about it. I don't know if you can see this. I am Ellen Pankey, and yes, I do have a master's degree in business, an MBA, and I am a digital marketing consultant. Not only am I one now at like 75 years of age, but back in the 1980s, I worked for IBM. I used to program computers. I used to work on the big computers, the mainframes. I worked on GPS. I worked on something called DSM, all the government planes that are flying here, there, and everywhere. The Maria said, "You see my card." I don't talk about that because I'm retired and I'm not trying to do that now. But even 2, 3 years ago, 2018, I went back to school at one of the community colleges, and I got new certifications in graphic design. Well, guess what? At the time, I was legally blind. So I didn't want to do that. And my certificate was in something called Adobe, Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign. It costs $100 a month just to pay for the apps to work those programs. Canva was not invented then. Canva is a new program that is $20 a month for the professional program. And Dolores is really, really good at that. So everything that I already have in my different files, I will send it to her. She will pull it up in Canva and send it back to me until I decide what I want to do with it. But I don't want you to think that I'm using this lady. And what she does do for me, we have a bartering system that what she does for me, we calculate our hours, we calculate our time, and then I reimburse her in my own time as if I was working. So Maria Graham says hello and thank you. And I'm sorry for those of you, our treasured home, Nancy. I'm sitting here rocking. I don't know if you've ever been in pain when your legs hurt, the neck bone connected to the thigh bone and the whatever, all the bones, they're all hurting. And as I told you, my primary care physician moved out of state, and two or three other doctors. She gave a list of the doctors that we could contact for the next primary care. It didn't work out. It didn't work out. It didn't work out for people of different diversities, I'll put it that way. Finding people who would even take you or do whatever. So I'm just working it out and doing the best I can do. But I had to get some medical stuff last week. Tuesday, I went to three medical appointments. Yesterday, Wednesday, I went to 5 appointments. Three of them were medical. And okay, I'm learning how to work the private chat. Dolores sent me a message to tell me she was here because I didn't actually expect to see her. But, that's what I say. Real friends become family, and family is everything. When the people you care about, the people who care about you, know that you're in trouble and care, they come. You don't have to call them. You don't have to invite them. They just do what they do when they do it. Mike. I see you, Mike's Chaotic Gardening. Joanne Stevens. Hey, sissy, how are you? I sent you a package. I don't know if you got it. Speedy Recovery. Tixie said, you know, I just wish I could get rid of the pain. But when I take, there's something, I don't want to like badmouth different medicines, but when I take the medicine they tell me to take for the pain and the neuropathy, it makes me so that I can't remember certain words. I can remember them, but I will be saying, like, oh, I wanted to the store, I wanted to get some maroon paint. I'm just using that for example. And then I get to the store and no, it wasn't maroon. I wanted purple. Well, purple's a little bit different than maroon for an artist, but different little dumb stuff. It doesn't aggravate anybody, probably except me, and you guys probably would not even notice. Crafty Leo, thank you. Thank you, my niece, and welcome. I appreciate each and every one of you. My granddaughter, Unbiased LLC, is here. And I came home Tuesday after all my appointments. I watched Unbiased in the bushes. I was trying to get some rest. Then I was going to go on Mr. Arthur Butler. And I said, okay, I'll eat my dinner so that I can take my medication. I take medication that you wake up la 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 in the bushes if you don't take it with food. And anything that you take that is a pharmaceutical medication, you really need to take with food. And I'm not a big eater. I don't eat meals on time, whatever. So I didn't do it. And when I finished eating my food, my sister Joanne Stevens will tell you, I have this little pill tray. I'll take the medicine out, and I said, "Okay, I'm watching everybody on the TV in my bedroom. I'm gonna sit over here. I take the pills out of that little container, with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and put them in my hand and sit back. The next thing I know, I wake up, they're melted in my hand. Oh my God, so disgusting. I'll wake up, it'll be like who is it, sifting some soil, all those people crafting in the middle of the night. I enjoy it, but my schedule, everybody ain't able. Everybody is not able. So I want to thank you, my faithful friends and family, because I appreciate each and every one of you. So now I'm going to open my camera to see if I can see the chat. See if you guys are saying anything about me behind my back. No, because family does what? Real friends, if they got something to tell you, they'll tell you to your face. Garden Quilting Art Show. Okay, I'm bringing this up. My legs are hurting, hurting, hurting. So, tonight, allergies are acting up. I'll see how far we can go. Hey, Karen's Little Garden, Black Guns. I see other people speaking to you, and I didn't. But I really, really, really. Okay, scheduled for 8:03. No, I'm looking at the wrong one. Just give me a minute, you guys. Don't get old. I'll tell you what Daddy used to say, and Auntie Joanne Stevenson will tell you. Daddy used to say, "Our church at home." Nancy saying hi to Black Guns. Daddy used to say, "Just keep on living. Come on up here. Wait till you get my age." It is a privilege to be almost 76, and I'm so happy. So happy to be able to be independent, to do the things that I love to do, and to, you know, venture out on new horizons. I want to ask you guys a question. I'm trying to see what this. I thought it was a dime, but now I see that it's not in the light. This is an old dirty nickel from on the ground. How many of you would pick up a penny on the ground or a nickel? Put a one in the audience. Would you pick it up? Of course, you know this one is already washed. But if you were out on the street, plus, you know, it's like 3-4 years past the shutdown. So things are not what they used to be. We've had vaccinations, we've had this and that. How many of you would pick up ARD, a resilient Papacita? Thank you for coming. Let me do a little dance for you, sir. Mother, if you're watching, I'm not going to do the dances I used to do when I was young. And I used to have those dresses on, slit from the floor up to my hip. You haven't had any change except for a quarter in Aldi's cart for years. So let me entertain you. Hey, RT, thank Get that thing, Nana. Oh, you go, Nana. Get that thing, Nana. Thank you, a resilient dad. You guys you make me smile. All of you make me smile. It's like I have my family, the 6 living generations. My mom is living. Mother, I go, I'm gonna tell mommy. I have 2 children, 2 grandchildren. For those of you who have just started following the channel, 3 great grandchildren and 1 great-great-grandchild. And they know that as soon as they see Nana, they know that I'm going to be silly, I'm going to be bad, I'm going to be doing all the things that their mothers told them they probably shouldn't do. And then I said, well, come punish them to Nana's room. And this is what we do. And I feel like now I have been gifted I have been blessed with all of you. Not that you're children. I am not belittling you in any way. Darth X, thank you for coming. The Canadian dollar coin is like a large penny. Oh, that's so interesting. That's so interesting. Well, when the shutdown was going on, if I saw a penny on the ground, I wouldn't pick it up. This penny, hunty, I got this. It's not a penny, it's a nickel. I stopped and got my money. Got my money, my money, my money. And I am not going to let anything slide. So I'm sitting here, my legs are aching. Why? Because I'm supposed to take some medication. I don't want to be like bad mouthing the manufacturer. But if I take it on an empty stomach, it makes me violently ill. So I didn't take it, and I didn't take it today. So my legs are hurting, hurting, hurting. So that being said, let me go back and refresh my greetings. Those of you who are on the replay, thank you for coming. Those of you in the bushes, the moderators, the patrons, like A Resilient Dad, the members who belong to the Friends and Family Chat. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you walk over a penny, you will devalue the blessing that's designed for. I ain't gonna walk past empty thing. Empty blessings. I save my bottles. They're 10 cents now, not a nickel. Crafting on a dime with Shay Shay. Shay Shay, I don't know if you were here a couple of weeks ago. Buy you sugar, the dance queen. I like waking up at night. I go home because I wake up in the morning, 3 o'clock. Why? Because my legs are hurting. My eyelashes are in my eye. That's why I keep pulling at it. And she plays the best music. I had to stop driving to say, if you are hurting too bad, get off and go eat and take my meds. Oh, I'm Bias LLC. Thank you. But you know what? When I get off, I'm going to be calling you because I want to find out about that little square thing because I had one years ago and I need a new one. I might be going to an art festival in 2 weeks and I'm making some little things to sell. So I want to show you all this stuff. I don't know if you can see it. You don't have to see this little mug-a-bug. So ARD saying hello, Maria. But I want you to see all this chair. Oops. Is full of pillows that I've been doing. People are starting to create gifts for Christmas, Kwanzaa, Christmas, Hanukkah, for other things, birthdays. I had 12 pillows that I made for Christmas, and they all were given out. My mother loves hers, everybody. But I want you to see all of these. So now, since like about a week or two ago, I have 1, 2, 3. The sides aren't closed. 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'll stop when I get about 12 of them done because school is starting. But one thing I want to show you guys is one of the little things I put on there extra. I want you to see this little hoop. Why? Because me personally, I'm not going to put this on my hair, even though I'm getting it done this weekend. And I use this for in back of me to get it just where the nooks and crannies where I want it. This particular pillow is going to my baby brother. One is going to his wife. He just remarried. Auntie Ellen is just 40 subscribers short of reaching 2,000. 2K. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share my channel out if you can. I appreciate that. And why? Because I just want to have a party. A party. So we talked about these pillows. And one of my family members works in the school system, and she has a student who is in a wheelchair. Well, I made this little girl a pillow, um, and for the wheelchair, but she's a tiny little person and she can use another one. So I didn't tell my granddaughter. I hope she's working, doing something. Ah, la 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 la. And don't bust my chops, Rita, if you're in the room watching it with mommy. So one of these may or may not be coming to mommy's house on Sunday for this little girl to make her comfortable. But what I wanted to tell you, those of you who make these, nobody adds these little straps except me. But I wanted to tell you that these little straps, you can put one of those like climbing hooks on it or whatever and attach it to the backpack, to your luggage. If you're traveling, Mother Maria Graham says, hi, Mother. You know what's funny? This is an I, this is an L, this is a U. But when you get arthritis and ortho, this and that, you don't always hold your hands up straight, or these don't always go down flat. But that's how it is supposed to be. So I'm sitting here rubbing on my legs, and I will look at my little list to see what I wanted to talk to you about. We talked about, would you pick up a dime on the ground? Oh, so I want to tell you about something funny, not so funny, something serious. It depends, it's not so serious. So, about sleeping with Dolores says sleeping with her neck bone pillow is a game changer. It's truly the best. If you suffer from neck or back pain, particular as a side sleeper, this pillow is a necessity. Miss Shirley, hey sis. Oh, and congratulations on getting monetized. I don't know if I said it on your chat, but I've been meaning to. I wake up in the middle of the dark time, and I always give everybody the thumbs up, but I don't always get back to the part. You said you do the same thing when you binge watch things and you've already given the thumbs up. Then you have to scroll down to find out if you left a comment, whatever. But we all do the best that we can. And you guys, Miss Shirley will be going live tonight at 7 o'clock. If any of you in here would like to drop the link for your channel, do exclamation mark GQUAT, GQUAT. So I'm sitting here, and yes, Nieta, my Rachel, my legs are hurting. Wellness with Frugal Mama. I have to tell you something about this young lady. The pillow that you made on the show, you use to sleep between your knees, and it helps with your hips. Exactly. I have two of these, and I use one under my neck, one between my knees. Sometimes I use my ice pack, use other things. I I use them for whatever I need them for. And once you get addicted to one pillow, there's nothing better than having two. Mommy uses one on her bed, and she always uses one on her reclining chair. Oh, you're welcome, sis. It's not a shout out, it's just sharing the love to let people know when they can reach you. And you are in my Grow Zone 6B. I have to tell you guys a funny story. You know me, I'm so impromptu. I was going to sew, but being balled up under the sewing machine, I'm really in a lot of pain today. I should have taken something, but I didn't. So I had 5 sister friends here in the city that I live in, and one of them passed just in the last 2 weeks. broke my heart, but she's not suffering anymore. She was suffering for a long time. So another one of these five sisters, one of them, their sister friends, she lives in my building. She lives upstairs, and if I need something, I need something to be lifted that I can't handle, or if she sees my mail in the lobby or something that needs to be brought up from the mailroom, she'll just bring it up and drop it by my door. So yesterday I had five different appointments, and when I got home, I said, "Oh, I just want to lay down on my bed and take a little nap." So my phone rang, and it's my sister friend upstairs. And she says, "Ellen, what are you doing?" I said, "She's a writer." So, and she works at the university. She has an office there. And I said, "I'm just laying across my bed." She said, "Well, Kay is here." That's her nickname. So I said, "Okay, I'll come up." I went upstairs because I haven't seen Kay for a few months. Irritable Gardens, thank you for coming and welcome. Frugal Mama says condolences, thank you. I'm older than most of my sister friends, so I went upstairs. But this sister friend is number one. She is a master gardener, all the certificates from the university, and she's also a vegan chef. Well, a lot of you don't know because I cook a lot, and I cook other things, and I cook for them. But several of my friends, when they come over, they are vegan. I cook. I'm not vegan. I'm not vegetarian. Sometimes I'm a flexitarian. That's what I am. I do whatever I want, when I want, as long as I want, and how I want. But when I cook for them, the ones that are vegan, I don't use any animal products. I don't even use the same fork, knife thing that I use for the animal products. I don't use them on the products that I'm cooking for them. In fact, I don't even use the same pots or anything. And they know that I'm strict about that. I I I respect what others believe in. Whatever they believe in, that's for them. You know, what they do in politics, religion, whatever, they can do that. That's why we are the land of the free, home of the brave, because we are entitled to that constitutionally. So, anyway, I went upstairs, getting back to my story. What happened was they went up, and one was going out of town today. So, they wanted to see what was going on in my community garden. So, we walked out to my community garden and Mr. Hershey, and I was showing the one who was not a gardener my Georgia candy roaster squash. And what was on there but a bug? And I was telling the other friend, that's not a ladybug. That's not my friend. She is not my friend. And she has to go. So meanwhile, I walked to the back of my community garden. It's 8 feet wide by about 40, 50 feet. I came up, and these two ladies helped me originally dig it up from the woods where it was back there originally, get my raised beds. Now I have all containers. So we came back out, and they're both way shorter than me. So the first one came out, the master gardener. She looked over and she saw that bug on my squash plant. I don't know if you've been to a Pentecostal church and they do that Holy Ghost sanctified dance with the feet going. I don't even know what happened. So this one is going out the gate first, and she leans down. I would have taken that one leaf off. She took this whole stem off. She threw it on the ground and she prayed all over that bad boy as it was going to the upper room. She did that Holy Ghost dance all over that leaf and threw it up in the woods. I thought I would die laughing. I thought I would die laughing. Then the gardener is at the bottom of a steep staircase. So we went upstairs and sat down and chit chatted, me and my two sister friends, while they were waiting for their Uber to come pick them up. Tixie, unbiased laugh. You know that Holy Ghost, that dance. I see the ladies in the church do it, and I've seen a couple guys do it. And they be doing that thing and crossing their feet. She was getting that thing. Yeah. So I had sister friend time, and now another story that happened to me this week. So about 6 weeks ago, I went over to another part of town because I have a compromised immune system. And don't tell me whether you agree with it, you don't agree. Opinions are like what you wipe with the toilet paper. Everybody has one, everybody's entitled to one. So I goes over to this pharmacy, and it's not like right around the corner from me, the one where I get all my prescriptions. I go over there. I ask the lady if she's going to put gloves on. Some of you have heard the story, some of you have not. If she's going to put gloves on to give me an injection. And she reads the riot act. She's like, "Don't tell me how to do my job." She gets whatever. She's touching everything in the back. She's touching everything in the carpules, the like tenor, whatever. There are no hand sanitizers, no gloves, no anything. So she's talking to me like I walked in there with some type of fleas or something on me. And I said, "Miss, I didn't ask you all that. I asked you if you're going to put gloves on when you give me an injection, and you went through all this." And so she says to me, she says, "Well, I don't feel comfortable giving you a shot. You need to go somewhere else." Okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I've been in anger management. I go to PTSD counseling every Tuesday, 11 a.m. For those of you who wonder where Auntie is on Tuesday, 11 a.m. I'm in therapy, just so that I know how to handle myself when this kind of spit comes up, right? So she's sitting there, and I'm looking at her. She doesn't have even have a name tag on. So I said, "Okay, but Lord, I'm gonna tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me." So when she says, "I don't feel comfortable, I'm giving you an injection," so I said, "I don't feel comfortable with your jackass, except I left the jack off either," right? So she gets up, she takes her little ingredients, and she goes back to the pharmacy section. So I stand up and I politely ask. I wasn't yelling or screaming or being disrespectful, except for that little jackass word. I'm entitled. So I went over. I said, "May I speak to the manager, please?" And so these other two stepping fetchits or whatever sitting behind the counter, they don't even look up. I said, "Excuse me, may I speak to the manager?" So neither one of them looked up or said anything. So this little princess looks like, "I am the manager, and I'm going to ask you to leave the store. And I am going to ask you to never come back here again." I'm like, "As long as I live in my butthole points to the ground, sis, you got the wrong one." And as a matter of fact, over here in this neighborhood where this store is, your little monkey behind is probably the first one out of the store when it closes at night, especially when daylight saving time comes and it's dark. Who the you think you're talking to? So I went right out inside and I got on my phone because I wanted to make sure I had the correct address because this was a big street and it goes from the bottom of that part to the top of that part. And I said, okay, no problem. I wanted to make sure I had the right one. So I called customer service and I made a report. And they were very understanding. They told me that when you're dealing with blood or an injection, everybody's supposed to wear gloves. Everybody's supposed to wear gloves. And I said, well, she didn't. But I went to the same store that they sent me all across town to go to once before, and a different pharmacist did that. And when I asked about the gloves, this one looked up at me and says to me, she says, the gloves are to protect us. I'm like, well, let me tell you something, my friend. If you touch me, you are going to have to protect me. You need to sanitize yourself, get some gloves, wipe everything off, and come back with another attitude. So she did, and we worked through that. So going back to the more recent altercation, they said somebody would call me the next morning. Well, nobody called. Nobody called for 6 weeks. Hey, Barb Brownlee, thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. So Friday, after I had been to the ear doctor, gotten my ears jackhammered out, and because I hadn't been there since 2018, because of the shutdown. Who's going to the ear, nose, and throat doctor during the shutdown? Everybody's coughing and sneezing. Nope, I didn't go. So the doctor said, didn't see you for a while. Well, you really need to get a booster because you have a compromised immune system. And they're correct. They have my medical files. I woke up from a coma 10 years ago and I've already been on a ventilator. I've already been tied to the bed and all the other stuff. I don't want to do that again if I can do something to prevent it, if it takes a vaccination. So this was Thursday, the ENT. Friday, this pharmacy calls me up and asks to speak to me. And I told them about the pharmacist. And they said the same thing, that she was in fact supposed to wear gloves. And would I like to did I get the injection? They already looked at the files. No, I didn't, because I was sick of all your behinds. And I was afraid if I went back over there that I would have to go to anger management because my PTSD might escalate and I might not behave myself so well and only say one bad word and one bad swear word. And so I went over there. They told me I could go. Not only did they give me an appointment, I can never get one like 3 blocks away because there's always a waiting list. I went over there and got the injection, and I got the one that I really wanted. And I won't talk about it because different people have different opinions, but that thing made me feel like I had the flu, like a flu shot. Hi there, everyone in the chat. Hey, Donzel Cooper. Thank you for coming. And welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, all of you. So, yeah, that's what happened Saturday. So, I had a fever. It was like I had gotten a flu shot. But you know what they tell me? Because of my medical complications, that I'm going to need to get a booster every year and a flu shot. You do what you need to do for you, whether you believe in them. I have family members that believe in getting them. I have family members that don't. So do what you need to do for you, but just take care of yourself. Barb Brownlee, I was about to tap dance all over her. She had the wrong one over there. So we talked about the garden quilt, and I want to go back again. So these are almost finished. And Frugal Mama, I want to tell you something. I changed my workout PTOT time to 7 o'clock because I do it with you in my ear. I'm not able to chat and tap, and because I can't type. But I want to have your energy. But I save these seeds for a whole year, and I know when seeds feel full, so I left them there. But these don't feel especially full, so I've got like four of them in my arrow garden because I'm testing them to see if they fast germinate. I soaked them for 2 days overnight, 2 nights, so that I could put them in my garden because I'm planting my fall garden. Donzel Cooper. Actually, Donzel, thank you. But you did come when Unbiased was here about a month ago, and you donated something, and I remember your name. You want to know what? I remember your name because I may or may not allegedly have had more than one husband. But if I did, my second husband's name was Wanzel Cooper. And I said to myself, Self, is this one of my stepchildren I don't know about or what? Nikki, the everyday life of an OCD-ish chick, is listening and driving everyone. I'm biased saying Donzel Cooper, thank you, King. And she appreciates you. Come to see her Nana. But Donzel, I was married to a Wanzel, and he had a son named Wanzel Jr. The bias is hollering. Yeah, well, that's what I do. That's what I does. So that would have been the second husband. But you know what? I may or might not allegedly have had three husbands. But you know what's interesting? The problem with our marriage, you know how they say in a relationship, was probably me. I'm not tolerant of a lot of things. And I've always been capable of getting my own. And I let them know it. I should have been more kind about it. Val Creates, thank you for coming and welcome. I should have been more kind about it. But I want to say this, whenever we go to family events now, I'm almost 76 years old. I have my daughters and stepdaughters and nieces and nephews from all three marriages in the same event. They all know each other, they all love each other, and they all love me. Unfortunately, do 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 do. I'm trying to sing tabs. Do 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 do. They are resting in peace, but not me. I'm living in happiness, and they are not on this earth. But I love them when we were together. Lorraine T, hola hermana, en todo los personas in the chat. Thank you. Thank you. So, what are. Oh, wait. I need to show you guys a couple of things. So, what we were going to talk about is the weekly create and chat quick gifts. I started cutting these up, the 15 minutes a day. What are these going to be? This is camo fabric. This is actually the black and white camo fabric, but I'm going to make key fobs for those who like camo fabric. I want to show you all something because I have a lot of peppers out there to harvest. I didn't do it today. I didn't do it this week because I don't feel like processing them. And I wanted to make sure that I felt better. But I wanted to tell you something about this. And sriracha, I haven't seen any on the shelves in forever. Did you? You're not related to them, Donzel? I know it. I was just teasing you, sir. I was just being bad and teasing you. Yes. But you could be related to me. I'll adopt you. I'll adopt you. Mike's Chaotic Gardening says he's jealous. And so this is made of, this sriracha got scarce during the shutdown. But do you know that these are made of jalapeno peppers? Yeah, fermented jalapeno peppers. Let me see if I can read it. This is ingredients: cayenne, chili peppers, cane vinegar, red habanero, chili peppers, salt, garlic, and some other stuff. I make my own pepper sauce, and Yankee's sister does too. She lives up the street one the way, and she gives me some of hers, and so I make her own. Good for you, Darthex. You make your own sriracha sauce either. So I wanted to tell you guys something. I won a little something something, and my sister Joanne had a scratch off ticket that was given to, she had three scratch off tickets that one of our family friends came by her house and left for her, her husband, and me. Well, everybody knows that I like purple, so she saved the purple ticket for me. And she called me up and she asked me if I wanted her to mail the purple ticket to me or I wanted her to scratch it. I said, of course, Sissy, I want you to scratch it. I can't cash it here in Connecticut anyway. It's an Arizona ticket that somebody bought when they were coming from California. So she scratched it off and she was so excited. She sent me a text with all the numbers. I won $200. And, that's what integrity is. That's what morals is. It's what you do when nobody is looking. So my sister called me and says, do you want me to send it to you or do you want me to cash it in? I'm like, baby, go cash that thing in and Zelle me the money. Zelle me the money. So she went and she went to the store and they said that they couldn't cash it. Why couldn't they cash it? Because they could only cash up to $200. Does that mean I won more than $200? Yes. So she went to this other store and she didn't understand how the numbers went. I didn't understand how the numbers went, which is why you shouldn't be gambling if you don't know what you're doing. I won $300. So I sent her a big package. She should be getting it today. And the package is $25. Then I bought us a t-shirt for one of our favorite quilting fabric groups. Where I get the African fabric, that really lush African fabric. Well, they have t-shirts out. So I bought her and myself a t-shirt. And then it was time for my website payment due. It was $165. I paid that. And yes, my sister sold it to me. But when I win things like quilts and different things, I give her what she wins too. That's what family does. That's what honest people do. That's what integrity does. But then I had a little bit more money left. And what happened was something fell in my cart on a fabric store. I'm way younger than you. 31 years old? Oh, you're way younger than Donzel. You could be my grandson, sir. You could actually be my grandson. And I do that. I already do that. You could probably be my stepson's son. That's what I was thinking. And so I'm making a quilt for my mother. She wanted a denim quilt because she saw me making one for ARD's dad. And she said, "Is that for me?" I said, "No, mommy, that one's not for you. But I have all the fabric cut up to make hers, and it's going to be blue denim." So guess what I did? Darth said, "Mike's Chaotic Gardening, you're sensing a new challenge. Homemade sriracha sauce." Yes, everybody make some sauce. So look at this pretty, and it's really thick, bright blue fabric to go on the back of mommy's denim quilt. And I will be sending it out to a long armor because it's going to be a king size quilt. It's going to be like 120 inches by about 100 inches. So this is four yards of fabric, and I will be making it for a super king size bed, and maybe have a little bit left to trim some pillowcases for her because she likes matching pillowcases. So, do any of you have any questions? Maria Graham said that's a beautiful color. It is beautiful, and it's such a heavy fabric. You can tell when it's that thick fabric. Okay, so I want to show you guys next because it's time to start harvesting from our garden and whatnot. So I briefly showed this about, I don't know, some time ago. This this is some of my neighbors here gave me a book about everyday baking from the Farmer's Almanac. Just gifted. Hey, Sonia. Thank you for coming and welcome. Well, what I like about this is that this is a book from 1792. So, what it says is in 1792, Robert B. Thomas, a bookseller, school teacher, and amateur astronomer living near Boston, Massachusetts, began a North American institution when he published the first issue of his Farmer's Almanac. The word old was added in 1832. He soon distinguished his almanac from all others, writing in one of the early issues, "We must always strive to be useful with a pleasant degree of humor. That timeless formula has made the Old Farmer's Almanac an indispensable reference for generations of readers. Today, this almanac is owned and published by blah, 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 blah." So I got this. But what's interesting is the recipes in here. I found one recipe for, I've been making banana bread since forever, whatever. I make it by heart. I make it when I'm in Arizona or with my family. But these recipes are such old recipes. I use walnuts in my banana bread, sometimes pecans. But this one is called pecan streusel banana bread. But it's almost the exact ingredients. And I've been making this one forever and ever. Double apple walnut bread, old fashioned date nut bread. I get dates sometimes and nuts, tender buttermilk biscuits. These are the types of recipes that our grandmothers used to make. Oh, that reminds me of something. I need to correct something because some people say, talk about where are people's parents from. And I always talk about my dad being from North Carolina, but that's true, but it's also untrue because he was raised in North Carolina, but he was born in West Virginia because Grandpap worked on the railroad. So Daddy and his brother Uncle Jake were born in Huntington, West Virginia, and my mom was born in Pennsylvania. So I just wanted to correct that because why? Nobody cares. Thank you again for the quote for Big ARD. Can I share a bit with? Oh, he got it. OMG. Yes, ARD. Let me drop the link. Okay. Thank you. Do you have it, ARD? I am so touched. Your daddy got his quilt. Oh, there's nothing like a good loved quilt. So, you guys, I think ARD is going to be coming up unless the wrong link is in the chat. You pulled me out of the bushes when I heard about baking breads. Yes, this whole book is about baking, and it's the old school big batch fresh raspberries. You guys know there are tons of raspberries out in the community garden. Zucchini spice muffins. I love the old school stuff. Rosemary lemon scones. I mean scones. What am I doing? Scones. Chocolate chunk peanut butter cookies. Okay, let me send this link to ARD. Okay, so why is this taking so long? Okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. Oh, there you are. Your daddy
Hello,
got his
hello.
quilt. Hello. I
Happy
am
Thursday.
so excited. Happy Thursday.
Yes, and I was meaning to get in touch with you when he really received it.
Oh, you was trying to get in touch with me after you scammed
Yeah.
me about me blocking you from my site.
No, no, that wasn't about that. I was just having
Oh,
fun.
I know you
Yeah, I was
was.
just having fun about that.
I had fun
um,
too. So
but
tell me,
no, he actually received it, and I was able to call him on FaceTime and everything, right?
yes,
So yeah, his health condition, he still can't travel out here to me yet. Him and mom. So for those who don't know, we're talking about Big ARD, my dad, and GQuad was willing and gracious to add her expertise to help design something for my dad for Father's Day that, to this day, he's like, Jesus, like, who the heck? Like, how did you even create something like this? I was like, yo, I didn't do this. I told you, this is, all that. And he's like, man, I got to talk to her. I got to meet her. And now my mom is like, can I get one too? Because they are not trying to, my dad is not trying to share it. He's like, nah, this is for me.
oh, you
So
touched
my
my
mom was like,
heart.
I got to get one too, put a little purple on there, put a little pink on there. And I was like, you know what? We might be able to figure something out.
You know, I
But when he
actually,
was in tears because, when he got the package, he was like, what's all in here? I was like, it's the thing that I told you. It's like, what's all in here, ARD. And I was like, yo, it's the thing I told you, not to like be specific on the online stuff right now. I was like, it's that. And then when he opened it up, he was like, wait, are you serious? Like literally, like, oh my God, he just melted into it. And I did the washing, I did everything prior. So it was pretty much ready to go unless he wanted to do another washing like I recommended. But he was already, you know, My dad is 81 years old, got all his faculties. Actually, he can outrace a lot of people. You know what I mean, and everything. But he was so surprised because he thought somebody from the Arkansas built that. He was
I
just
am
like,
so
Jesus.
touched.
You
We were
know,
just
uh,
talking about my family and where they're from,
so we
and
got to thank you for just allowing your hands to really bless the product, bless the fabric, and even bless the vision that you had to do that for us. And it was worth all the effort, and I can only support you further. So I just wanted to call you and say that because we didn't get a chance to talk offline about it.
right. Thank
But
you.
yeah,
Well, for those of you who are new to the channel, and welcome GT Junior Grows in Alaska, ARD commissioned a quilt for his dad, but he didn't want just any quilt, any new school quilt. So I cut up some old dress shirts that I used to wear to work because I knew that it was for ARD's dad, and my dad worked with old school with his hands in the country in North Carolina, raising cotton, raising tobacco, and farming. And he never had a chance to go to college. He never had a chance to finish high school, as a matter of
yeah.
fact. But he always loved these quilts, and my grandma made these quilts. So ARD wanted this quilt. I actually cut up these shirts and jeans to make them like the quilts used to be, like our grandmothers did back in the day, and I sent it to
But
him.
not just the quilt and jean part, right? The padding, the stitch work, the patchwork. Like it
Yeah, I did
was
add a little
it
extra
like
to
you're
that.
not like the detail was everything. And that's what I gotta say. The detail is everything, you know.
Thank you. I
And
did.
I'm not saying that this is something that my dad even said. And that's why I wanted y'all to like all connect because they were ecstatic about it. So you did your job, and you put more love in it than I can even
I
pay you
did.
for. So I appreciate you for it. I really do, Auntie. And I thank you. I thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, vision preparedness, thank you. Welcome in. Cool weather farmer, thank you. My dad is not on earth anymore. I made for your dad. Sorry. Okay, Dad, I'm not being a wimp. What I would have made for my dad. This is the quilt I would have made for
Mm,
my dad
yes,
if
ma'am.
he was still here, and I wanted to honor your dad with it. So
Uh,
I'm pleased that you chose me to do it.
no, no, no. We're forever grateful for that. You know, like the gratitude can't even be expressed in words, to be honest. You know, like if you would have saw his face, it's like, yo, ARD, this is the package. This is heavy. I was like, yeah. He was like, what's all in here? Because he thought I was about to send him some 2A stuff, and I was like, nah, like this is.
Some two-way stuff. You guys are a hoe. You
I was like,
guys are a
no, this
hoe.
is this is your Father's Day, part of your Father's Day gift. And yeah, like when he embraced it. When I tell you, you can only know when somebody put love into something from
Thank
somebody
you.
that know how to identify love in quality
Thank
product.
you.
And it was just 1 to 1. It was like your energy was there.
Thank you.
I
I
don't
tried
mean to go
to.
into the weeds, but you just know automatically what type of time somebody put into something when they get it and they from that same cloth. So I appreciate you so much for making my dad's Father's Day really special. Yeah, it was commissioned, whatever. I don't even like to get into that because honestly, you did over and beyond anything that I've ever asked for. So it's not about just a commission. You always put your heart into it, and I
I
thank you
do.
for that.
I do. Thank you.
So that's why I wanted to come and give you motivation and just give you my story and really bless you up because, you could have did a half-ass thing, right? But you didn't. You could have
Yeah.
like blamed it on all the situations that you had, and the product would have been lackluster, right? But you didn't.
That's why it took time and it didn't get there as fast as I wanted, because I won't let it go until if there's one little thing I wanted to make it what I wanted to be, and I want to feel the love. And somebody in the chat asked, well, Auntie Ellen, how do you make them heavy?
Yeah.
Because the old quilts used to be thick and heavy, but this one was light, but it was heavy. And I know you stuck your legs under it while you were looking at it. You might have had a nap or
Oh
two in
yeah,
it.
I had to try it out a little bit before I put it in the wash. I had to try it out.
Because that's what us quilters do when we're working on it. We have it on our lap, we're hand sewing it. Well, not that one because I had a different kind of binding, and we're sitting there doing it, putting the label on it, something, but it's just something, the warmth, the love. It's
Yeah,
like you're getting hugs.
it's like a connect. It's a kinetic energy sometimes, right?
Yes,
You
yes,
can buy a blanket like that from any popular store, any luxury store, or anywhere. But it's something when you create something with design and love in mind.
yes,
And that's what I feel like you did because he wouldn't have responded that way. It's one thing when I told him about all this stuff, and then it's another thing when he actually got it and I got to see him get it for the first time. And that's why I wanted to call you, right? Because I wanted to bring you on the call
thank
to
you.
to see that because he was just electrified, and I thought I was like, man, it's good people out here.
Thank you for
Regardless
letting
of
me
how crazy
know.
this world is, there's good people out here and they do good work. A lot of
Thank
people
you.
do it without being recognized, but we want to
Sometimes
recognize the people that do it.
sometimes I send things to people and they don't get them. Like GT Junior grows in Alaska. I made him a little fabric postcard. He didn't get the first one, and things disappear. So I sent him another one. He was so hurt that he didn't get it. Or it's just the thing that everybody doesn't have auntie, a grandmother, an Auntie Ellen. Even if y'all did adopt myself, my little spoiled rotten self, even if y'all did adopt me, everybody doesn't have a me in their life,
Hmm.
to act up,
Thanks.
whatever. Oh, Laquita Jackson, thank you. That's one of my cousins from Pennsylvania on my mom's side.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you. She came in from over there. Thank
But
you,
you're right.
cuz.
Everybody doesn't have somebody like you. Everybody doesn't have somebody that could be, the staple or a foundation, right? At all times.
I got that from my parents because
Likewise. Yeah.
when I went to my high school reunion, I want to say it was my 50th reunion. My mother knew more of the people, remembered them there than I did. They were all coming over. Hi, Mrs. Pankey. Hi, Mrs. Pankey. They were dancing with her, they were hugging her. Or my mother was like, didn't you change your name to like some kind of African name or something? Or did you do this? Did you
Yeah.
do that? Joanne Stevens
Regardless of your
was saying.
name change, though, your
Yes, yes,
interaction,
but
if
she
it was
remembered,
pure, it was the
and
same.
and I
Yeah.
didn't know or remember, but my mother kept up with the kids of the kids of the kids. Barb Brownlee, we've all adopted me. Thank you, thank you.
I sent my adoption papers over a long time ago,
You
Auntie. Ain't
did,
nobody signed them.
you
I don't
did.
know. Somebody
You
playing
could
with
be
your
my
mail?
grand. You and Donzel could be my grandson. Actually.
Somebody playing with your mail, Auntie? Let me know.
If they play with my mail, they'll take it back because all them bills up in there. No, I'm just kidding. I
And
don't
that
even
was the
have any
funniest
bills.
thing. You know what? Just because you said that, right? It was like, yeah, we're gonna hack you and hold you for ransom, right? It was a situation I was a part of. I was like, so what bills do you want first? You want the $100 bills, $10 bills, $20 bills? He's like, I want all of them. And I was like, all right, well, how about this? I ain't got no actual bills, but I got an electric bill, I got an internet bill, I got a mortgage bill. You dig? I got
Right,
this other
right.
bill. I was like, you can have all those. They stopped
Francesca,
playing with
thank
me.
you. Thank all of you who have adopted.
That was just a joke. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank all of you who have adopted Joanne Stevens, spoiled rotten big sister. When growing up, I'm the oldest of six, the eldest, and everybody, well, when you're little, when you're younger, everybody knows who's the tallest, all the way down. But then after we got older, they were all taller than me. I'm actually the shortest of the siblings. And everybody always thought I was the youngest because I was so spoiled, but they all spoiled me because Daddy always did. He always said, "Well, Pen is the oldest. You have to listen to her." And I grew up, they all respected me. They all treated me with respect. We have a tradition in the family, like even when we were serving plates or serving dinner, we always served Daddy his plates first and then Mommy. And now that we're elders, somebody always fixes my mother's plates, like for Christmas, for holidays, for Easter. And then they fix mine, and we go down the line as a tribute of loving the elders in the village. Because it takes a village to raise a child, it takes a village to retire the elders gracefully.
But what you just said is probably gonna raise a couple of feathers, right? How do I gotta feed the man first? We do, and that's where it get complicated and messy because it's unnecessary. When it just comes to just loving each other, it's not about
Right.
all that, right? It's okay if you say, hey, the man should be doing this, right? It should be fed this at this time. It's okay to say, hey, the woman should be doing this and should be fed like this, right? And be honored like this. That's okay. Like, why is this thing
Well,
a versus thing? Like, I
it
don't never,
was,
and I'm not trying to bring it to that conversation, Auntie, but
it,
I thought what you called out was a cold thing, and it should be something to recognize. But I'm not trying to make your channel about that, right? But
no,
I
we,
honestly think that it should be something that okay, who should be fed first? Who should be fed last? Who should be eating together, right? Regardless of how you're fed, right? Like I think that we got to get out of this carnal mindset of
well,
certain
and
things.
in our house, it was the elders. He was the eldest in the house, and he worked outside the house. So we started again from the elders. It wasn't the man or the woman. Now, um, I'm one of the elders. So I'm the
Hey,
second one
likewise.
felt,
Yeah.
so it went down. They feed my mom first. It's the elders, the respect, not the man thing. Although I will say this, and
Yeah, the
folks can do
elders,
what they
right?
want to
Not
do
necessarily the man, right?
with their
Yeah.
opinions, but we grew up in a Bible worshiping house where the man was the head of the household. So we knew where our protection came from the Lord and Daddy and whatever. And we always knew that he was. But we're not going to get into all that.
That's what I was
But
saying. I don't want to go over
but
that. I don't want to go down that alley.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want to go down that
And I'm
alley.
not
You know what I
sorry
mean? Because
that he did.
that's not what it's about. You
And
know, we're not
when
gonna
I
go
go
down that alley.
to my
You know,
sister's
not
house,
at
out
all.
of
It's
respect,
love on love. You know, the more you give to support, the more real people gonna be here to give and support you. I think that's the essence of it all. You
and
know.
thank you. Barb Bradley's adopted me. All my lovely friends and family. I don't take much. I mentioned I've been married more than once, and when my nieces and nephews and everybody would come to especially the homestead in North Carolina, I said, I may not
Mm.
have all the money some of your parents have, but if you want 3 meals a day and a hug, come on down. And they,
Look, you wouldn't. Hey, come on now, come on, Auntie. You know what
yeah,
that meant? Like you for real
there
about it.
was
You
never,
know.
nobody was ever hungry. Nobody was ever without anything. And we still,
And that's what we say. Hey,
yeah,
anybody can build on that, right? Anybody can build on that. You know, we can
right.
be together on that. Yeah.
And I have niece daughters. I have, and
It's
they,
not saying, oh, one person got to be in the kitchen, no other person got to be in the field. Nah. You know, I'm just as in the field, just be example. I'm just as in the field as I am cooking. You know, and you already know my passion for cooking. You know, I get that from
yes,
my dad, who was just as in the field, just like cooking. You know, he wanted to make sure before he send all of us out, he
everybody
made
was
breakfast
full.
for everybody.
Yes.
You know,
or
when
you had to
everybody,
dig
hey, he
from.
even prepared snacks for us during lunch
And
all the time,
in the
all the time.
country, you cook a lot for dinner,
Yeah,
and you
it's
have
a big
enough
meal.
for
It's a big
breakfast to
meal.
take out in the field. Breakfast, bacon and eggs weren't going to sit up there picking cotton and working. I think they had 100-foot rows
Yeah.
for the farms. I'm trying to remember, or 50-foot yard
Nah, it
rows.
was 50 by what, like 80
Yeah,
something.
50. Yeah,
Yeah,
and you couldn't. It's a
yeah.
funny thing. I took my great grandchildren, North Carolina, and we went to this farm to pick watermelons. So I had my old Ford One F-150 at this farm. We parked on the side, and I told them, I said, "Oh, Nana, look at this one. Oh, look at this one." I said, and they were way up. I said, "No, that's not what you want to do. Look at the ones as you're going up, but mark the ones that are ripe when you come back to the truck. You want
Exactly.
to pick them up and carry them
Yeah,
and put them on the truck."
yeah.
So we
I
had to go
totally
back in the
agree,
pickup.
right?
Yeah,
Look, one thing that we love to do, we have, because we don't have property right here to have farming. We just have
yes,
property to, like, you know, like live and stuff. Long story short, um, we go to these farms and little ARD, wifey, everybody, we go out here and we pick, we help, and now it became something like almost a co-op, right? Because we've done it for so many years. It's almost like a co-op. And actually, what we're doing and supporting is they have a neighboring farm that's a winery, right? A grape farm,
yes.
vineyard,
Vineyard.
and then on the other farms and stuff like that, they have things to support the vineyard. I'm not trying to get deep into it, but when I say the community needs a community, it's real. Like we all support each other in a positive way, for lack of better words, But
Yes.
and that's one of those I can't even call it old teachings. I gotta say like it's an element, it's a Harlem. It's something that's it should be honored and respected depending on who you're talking to. But a lot of people
Those are
kind of
the
come off like they don't respect it.
Yes, those are the traditions that I speak of, and I try to share with those in the chat, those who come from week to week, because the people who come from week to week, they are like a family, and it's like a family reunion. And it's like, okay, you went to Auntie Ellen's house for Thursday. What was she talking about? What was she fixing to eat? Oh, Donzel, you're adopted. You're adopted. And
Shout
I
out to the new adopted people in the channel right now. Yeah.
You're all adopted. On Facebook, I have a lot, like thousands. And the kids that grew up with my kids, they call me mom, they call me auntie. It's like the United Nations. It's like all colors, all creeds, all religions,
Yeah.
all politics. Do what you do, love what you love. And just, when you're here, we're here to love each other.
Facts. Yeah. So I didn't mean at all, Auntie, to deter this conversation that we were speaking of to
Well,
be
this was
something
fun.
of adoption, and I call you Auntie because I never said that you adopted me. Now I'm just saying,
What? No,
your
no. I might
family and
have
my
to throw
family.
you out one day. No,
Yeah.
I'm kidding. But you're like, you be the one that you can't throw me out. You be breaking back in again. You can't throw me out. You can't.
I'm
I
not.
bring
I'm
it
not.
every
I
day.
would
Just say
never. I
hello.
would never throw you out. Right?
We
I'll
don't.
build you up.
We don't do
Yeah.
that. The friends
Yeah.
that
No. No.
I have had friends for over 70 years.
Hmm.
And Darth X says it's going to hit 100 degrees Fahrenheit in Canada. Wow. Or up there where Darth X is. And I'm just inside. It's in the 90s over here, but I'm not going back out today. But I want to thank you for coming out.
Hmm.
I am
Oh
so
yeah,
excited your
definitely.
dad got
And
his
that was the
quilt.
cause,
Now we
right?
have
I
to
didn't
work
mean
on
to get into
mom's.
everything else. You know how we talk sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah, but I was definitely making sure if anybody was listening, Community is everything.
Everything.
And we can have a facade about community if it's fake, but if it's real, it's
You
real.
can tell
You know
realness.
it's real.
You
Case
know.
in point, how my dad responded to the blanket. And I
I
know,
am
oh yeah,
so
it's just a little
excited.
blanket, it's just a little whatever. Some people might think that, but you really
Well,
don't know the person you're talking to, and you don't know my dad. You don't know the person who made it, and you definitely don't know my dad. So I think you
oh,
should have some precaution if you ever think that, But at the
well,
same time, like I said, it's like when it's true love, it's love. When you got somebody putting love into the work that they do, you gotta honor those people. You
you're
gotta
wel-
give
you're
them
wel-
respect.
you're welcome to give your dad and your mom my phone number.
Oh, I will. I will. Yeah, yeah. Actually, I
Oh,
wanted to line it up because my mom also, right? Like they both wanted to reach out to you for a couple of things, And I was like, yeah, we're gonna get it done, and we're gonna get that done offline because I think that, yeah, the opportunities are endless.
yes, yes. And I downsized. I moved. I moved into this place, and it's like I can't keep everything. All this stuff is not going to fit in my coffin in 25 years. So I got to use it up, spend it up, get it out of here. My brother told me, my brother, older one, he goes, I hope you get rid of all this spit before you go leave the earth, because I don't want them calling me to help carry, clean out that apartment, clean out that house,
Hmm.
different ones. And it was a joke
Understood. Yeah,
because I have stuff, but you know what? It's not junk. It's all
it's
collectible.
definitely not
It's
junk.
all
Yeah,
quality stuff, and it's recycled. It's up. It's turned around. I have a
right,
butcher block in there that's a couple hundred years old, and my
right.
son came here and he says, "Mom, I don't want anything here. The one thing I would want would be that one butcher block." I'm like, Aaron, how?
Mm,
That's 200 pounds. How are you going to get it to L.A.?
come on now. Yeah.
I guess you go
You
rent it
remember
from
when you
or have
sent
somebody
me one
bring
of
it.
those things with the bucks, right? For the horses?
Yes,
You
yes.
sent that, little ARD, you know. Yeah. Well, look, you don't look. You got everything good, man.
Thank
Auntie, like
you.
you really do. And
I,
those things that you sent me, for the horses, I thank you for that. You
you're
know,
welcome. You're welcome.
much
For those
respect
of
to
you who
you,
don't
Auntie.
know, Auntie Ellen used to have horses. You name it. If I wanted it, I had it. I'm retired now. I am what is considered a disabled senior because I'm not able to use certain strengths that I once had. But if I wanted it, I had it. Horses, cows, Cane Corso, Italian Mastiff, goats, chickens, Muscovy ducks. It was just fun because I grew up in the city and we didn't have those things. We had some of them when we visited my grandparents, but it was just something to expose my children and grandchildren and great grandchildren too.
Exactly. Yeah. And I thank you for passing that down to even us. You didn't have to do that, Auntie. That's what I'm saying. Like, good people with good hearts will always
Thank
win,
you.
regardless of the struggle. You always win, especially if I'm alive.
Oh, you ain't going nowhere.
Of course, I'm not.
Stop. In fact, in
I
fact,
think
this
a
is
lot
my
of people think I'm the Terminator or something.
no. I was just looking like, what did I do with the fabric for the the key fobs? And I know you're gonna be the first one.
Nice.
I'm gonna need one of those, honey. Auntie,
You
I
already
like
know. You
camo.
already know.
Darth X, the ducks that I
But
had were
let
called.
me get over your line. So you're live right quick, okay? So everything is good.
Yes, and thank you.
Yeah. And
Thank
it's
you for
much
coming
blessing
on.
to you. Ego amate.
Thank you. So Darth X was talking about the ducks, and he said the ducks are messy. Well, you know something? The Muscovy ducks, for those of you who have never or ever had duck, Muscovy ducks don't quack. The ducks that are quack, quack, quack. Muscovy ducks don't quack. And what's interesting is that they don't mate with any other duck, like the ducks or the geese flying to Canada or whatever. They're not like that, and they're the ducks for the French restaurants. My ducks were so fat they could not even fly. I remember two of them got out one time, and two of my mother's friends came over, and they were trying to help me get these ducks and put them back in the gate, right? And when they were over there, here's these two elderly ladies, like 85, almost 90 years old, chasing these ducks, trying to get these ducks back in the fence. And all these ducks were doing were like waddling around. But sometimes the ducks would, or was it the chickens, would fly on the goat's back, and they would be following me around the farm. My mother would say, "Do you know how I know where you are in the property?" "No, I don't know." And my mother said, "Because when I look out the bedroom window, all the animals are following you around like a circus." Like a circus. Good people with good hearts do win. So, you guys, I'm going to shut it down now. I saw Vision Preparedness in the chat earlier. He's going live, I believe, at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, but check his channel. Everybody who is a creator, drop your link in the chat, exclamation mark, GQUAT, and you guys can get together. Everybody who hasn't seen each other. And that's what I really feel like. You guys, you don't have to come here. This is not the most interesting thing, but you know what? It feels like family. It feels like you're going to visit somebody. If you were nearby, stop by. Just like my friend that stopped by upstairs, and my friend called me to say, "Well, Kay is here." I didn't have anything cooked, but I had raw food. I had pillows. I always have something. My mother always has something to give people who visited us. And Daddy would always say, "Did you offer them a drink of water, or did you offer them something to eat?" We always had something to share. So, you guys, in Mike's Chaotic Gardening, did you ever open your package? Who is it? Unbiased LLC has like a 3 month old package. Y'all, I forget. You wait until I forget what, and then you say, "Did Auntie? Did you remember?" I don't remember. I don't even remember what it was. But I just want to say peace, love, and blessings. Do what you love and love what you do. So I'm going to go and put my legs up and put some ice on it. I'm going to go see my mother this weekend, and because I didn't last week. So I love you. I love you. And peace, love, and blessings, everybody. And now it's time to say goodbye. Oh, Francesca said she'll be live tomorrow at 9 a.m. with Yankee Sister. I have a 9 o'clock appointment and a 10 o'clock, but I will catch up with you. What kinds of videos do I make? Donzel Cooper, I do gardening, cooking from scratch, quilting. I did have it up on the banners, the things that I do, cooking from scratch, home skills creations. I'm a master quilter. I paint, I draw, I do wood crafts. I do just about a little bit of everything. And I tell fascinating stories because I've been around a long time. Donzel, I've been around almost 76 years. So I have 76 years of stories to tell you guys about. So I want to thank all of you for coming. I love all of you. Mother, ego amote, and I will say good night. That's not what I was trying to do.